right. Good Thursday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I am your meteorologist, Peterson. Let's go ahead and talk about the weather for your Thursday evening going into your future. So first off, as we always do, if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, go ahead and do so. We are at right now 589 still, or 591. Excuse me, at 591. We are 9 away from that main goal of 600 subscribers, 9 away. And so if you go on and share it as well, sharing is caring, that would be fantastic. It looks like everyone has hit the like button so far from what I can see on my screen right now, so that is good. Also, what are we going to talk about today? We will obviously talk about the current condition, what's going on right now throughout the state. We also will talk about the weather for tonight and what's going on throughout the future. Includes some flooding, it includes the tropics, obviously, and just for the most part, it's going to contain also breezy conditions as well. But that's all that we're really going to talk about for tonight. Maybe talk about the cold front as it passes and what's our future there as well. We might. Also, make sure you go in and vote inside the poll. Vote inside the poll. That is the drought predictions right now. No, not everyone has voted yet, so go in and vote if you have not already. What's going on throughout the entire state right now as we speak? We do in fact have some rainfall that's off to our coast, but not really too much inside of the state. If we scroll our way out, see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we have some stuff going on. We have rainfall that goes on in Georgia, Alabama, Florida, getting in on some of that flooding, Minnesota, getting in on some of that flooding, as well as Utah, Arizona, and Nevada getting in on some of that rainfall, and even a house was struck by lightning inside of Nye County, Nevada, near, I don't know how you say that, but in Nye County, Nevada, a house was struck by lightning, and now, obviously, it doesn't say anything else, it just says house struck by lightning, so that's all I can see there. But rainfall also goes on over here inside of the west in Oregon and California. Now, in terms of cloud cover, we do have some cloud cover near the coastal areas, not really anything else. Everybody else looks pretty dry. Cloud cover for our future. As you go in and push this forward, it looks like that cloud cover will be kind of trying to move inland a little bit more and kind of move into like the southern Midlands, into the PD area. And then as you go into like tomorrow morning as well, tomorrow morning it looks like that cloud cover will continue to move its way up to the north and west. And honestly, it looks to get cloudier as the day progresses tomorrow. So we will continue to watch for that, but it looks like it's going to stay cloudy as we get into tomorrow. Current temperatures right now around 63 in Columbia, 61 in Lugoff, as well as 63 in Sumter, 63 in Orangeburg, as well as 66 in Georgetown, 68 in Murrells Inlet, as well as 67 inside of Myrtle Beach, 64 in Conway, and 66 in North Myrtle Beach, 65 in Somerville, as well as 67 in Charleston, 68 in Beaufort. We also have around 60 in Greenville, 62 in Clemson, as well as 61 in Anderson, 59 in Spartanburg, as well as 58 in Gaffney, 58 in York, and Rock Hill. Here are your low temperatures for tonight, around 50 in Greenville, 49 in Spartanburg, as well as 49 in Rock Hill, 52 in Winsboro, and even 52 in Newberry, 56 in Columbia, and even around 55 in Camden. 57 in Sumter, and even 58 inside of Orangeburg, 56 in Barnwell, 58 in Walterboro, 59 in Moncks Corner, 57 in Hilton Head Island, 60 in Georgetown, even 61 in Myrtle Beach, 63 in Charleston, and 64 in Hilton Head Island. Rainfall for tonight around 100th of an inch to a 10th of an inch possible from Walterboro to Moncks Corner, also towards Myrtle Beach, and then maybe even a 10th of an inch to a quarter of an inch is possible from Georgetown over into Hilton Head Island, and then maybe a quarter of an inch to a half an inch in Charleston, and somebody could potentially get around a half an inch to an inch of rainfall. Most likely would be near the coastal areas, especially like coastal Charleston County. But we'll see what happens. Crazy score for tonight, we're at a 14. 14 inside the calm category. Why, you may ask? Dry with isolated coastal showers, cool, less humid, mostly clear, patchy clouds. It's still going to be a bit breezy. Gusts up to around 25 miles per hour as you move through the nighttime. But other than that, no major concerns. SPC outlook, no thunderstorms are really expected. This was the last one that they just put out just now. Here's what it looks like. It doesn't really change much. No thunderstorms really are expected, unless if you're like right along the immediate coastline in the low country, it's possible, but very low. Now tomorrow, Friday, thunderstorms are possible from Hilton Island over towards Charleston, over towards Myrtle Beach and Georgetown. All those areas have a thunderstorm risk. Nothing severe, just a thunderstorm risk. And same thing for Saturday, coastal like Charleston County and Georgetown County, and then over towards Myrtle Beach, it's also possible for some thunderstorms to occur. Now, as we go into the excessive rainfall outlook tomorrow, we do in fact have a risk for some isolated flash flooding on Friday. So that goes from Beaufort to Hilton Island to Seabrook Island to Kiowa Island to Hollywood to Latson to Somerville to Charleston to Folly Beach to Awendaw, also to Moncks Corner, Jamestown, McClellanville, Georgetown, Garden City Beach, Carolina Forest, Conway, Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach. All these areas have a chance for some isolated flash flooding tomorrow. Now, there also is another area up here near North Myrtle Beach, Little River, near Atlantic Beach. Isolated flash flooding is possible there on Saturday, but Sunday and Monday look way better. So what about the models now? Time is in the top right corner of your screen. Make sure you go in and pay attention to that as we go on and push this forward. You will see that as we get more to around like 12, 1, 2, 3 a.m., that rainfall activity is going to kind of move its way inland a little bit more into the low country, more into the Midland area, potentially in the PD area, potentially. And so that might go out all the way to around 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And we will have some morning rainfall all the way through 9, 10, 11 a.m. I mean, even to around 12 p.m., there will be rainfall going on from the low country of South Carolina all the way over potentially into the upstate, where you can see those isolated showers up there as well. Now, as we go even further into the future, that's one of the reasons why we have some isolated flash flooding threat that's there, especially for the low country area, and that's because all of that rainfall that's going to push in, and it's going to be raining for a good majority of the day, into 12 a.m. again on Saturday. So you continue this forward even more, all the way into around 5 a.m. on Saturday. You still have a bunch of rainfall, but a lot of that rainfall is now moving over towards like the PD area now. And a lot of that rainfall will start falling over there. That goes all the way to 7, 8, 9 a.m. All the way to again to noon. To where most of that rainfall, like I said, it switches over from the low country from Friday and it moves over to the PD and the Grand Strand area on Saturday. And as the low pressure continues to move its way over into the northeast, so does the rainfall as well. And most of that rainfall now moving up into North Carolina, where they probably could potentially receive some more flooding than we will. They actually have a scattered risk of flash flooding now. Now that's the short-term future. What about the long term? We're going to start off here where we just ended off at. That coastal storm will get out of here. It will start getting drier. October the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, the 17th, the 18th. I mean, they all look relatively dry. I mean, you guys go to the 19th, the 20th, a high pressure is here. Takes over. We're having fun in the sun at this point. And it's definitely going to be warmer than average. We've been talking about it. But obviously, as this cold front right here, it's here now. But, obviously it's not going to last for long. That warm, hot air will come back, take over again, all the way through the 17th and the 18th. But look at this amount of cold air that could potentially push back down into around like the 19th, the 20th. It'll try, but not quite make it too close. So maybe a couple of days there. But not much, as just more warm, hot air makes it down into the state. October 23rd to the 24th to the 25th. And it looks like it's going to be just a warmer October here, which I believe that was the forecast for the month of October. Again, I don't really take all of, like, when I do my fall forecast, when I do spring seasonal forecast, monthly forecast, don't really take too much in account with those forecasts, just because I know that things can change, things can happen, and for the most part, I don't really keep all of it just stored in my mind. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be warmer than average. Oh yeah, it's supposed to be cooler than average for the first couple of days probably, but not for long. It kind of just leaves in my mind at that point. Now let's go on and talk about the tropics, because the tropics is obviously a pretty big part in this forecast. So Jerry is still down here. 65-mile-per-hour storm has not increased. Tropical storm conditions are expected now in the warning area and are possible in the watches area this evening through Friday morning. Heavy rainfall will impact portions of the Leeward Islands, British Virgin Islands, as well as the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico through Friday, which could result in flash flooding, particularly in urban areas and in steep terrain. Now, will this directly cause rip currents for South Carolina? Probably not from just this storm right here. This coastal storm that's near us is probably causing it as well. But just for today, tonight, high risk of rip currents throughout the low country coastal region, as well as a moderate risk over there for the Grand Strand area. Now tomorrow stretches a little bit more. Instead of taking over the low country, it now takes over the low country and the Georgetown County coastal area with the high risk, while the Horry County area only a moderate risk of rip currents. But if you look at it all in a composite view, it doesn't really change too much. It's just because low country stays in that high area, and Georgetown is the only area that kind of just flips over and changes. But that's it for Jerry and just our rip currents over here. Now, what about this little area up here? You can see it up there in the orange now. It's not in orange now. It's actually a 60% chance of formation. Showers and thunderstorms continue to show signs of organization with a small gale force area of low pressure located several hundred miles to the northwest of the Azores. Only a small increase in organization could result in the formation of a subtropical or tropical storm as soon as tonight. As the system moves slowly northwest over the weekend, the system is expected to move over cooler waters, ending its chances of further development. And so this has no threat to South Carolina at all. But we watched this thing from yesterday. It was only like a 10% yesterday, and this thing started getting steam fast. This is one of these examples right here of the storms that only have a short amount of time to form. This is one of those storms that actually might succeed at forming very, very quickly. Now, obviously, it will get to those cooler waters and it will die off, but the fact that it's already an invest meaning that it's probably going to impact somebody. It's a 96 L now, and they do have the models for it. Kind of go all over the place. But even intensity guidance right now is saying that this will turn into a tropical storm. In fact, there's already a couple of models right now that actually says that it might already try to be close to a tropical storm already. So at least that's what these models right here say. So very, very interesting to see here. Now let's go on. Now that the tropics are out of the way, I did want to mention before we go in and get to the drought monitor in the audience that obviously we were talking about the wind, but here's your max wind throughout the next 3 days or so. If you want to see your max wind gust throughout the next 3 days, here it is right here. So while you go in and, I want this. There we go. So for the most part, 20, 30 miles per hour, maybe 35, 40 near some coastal areas. But this is your max wind gusts over the next 3 days from now until around Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning. So now that that's out of the way, what about the drought monitor? So if you don't know what the drought monitor is, it's a monitor that we see how the drought is doing throughout the state of South Carolina. Obviously, the last time we checked, we had a drought ongoing, mainly inside of like this area over here, but it was all over the place pretty much, but splotched in some areas. But on every Thursday night, we at the South Carolina Weather Community come together and actually try to predict what the drought monitor will be. So I have not seen it yet. I've not seen it yet all day. Did not look at it. So let's go on and see the polls real quick, see what we have. So far not most, but a good amount of people have voted. 57% thinks that the drought has expanded. 43% said that the drought is less/the same, and 0% says that that the drought is gone, or that the abnormally dry is gone. Abnormally dry not being a drought, but being more of a just dry patch, not a drought though. And so I go on, I look at my map here, I look at the observed precipitation, I look at how the drought is doing on the last update. And for the most part, see a good amount of rainfall, but I don't think that this rainfall here would necessarily get rid of the drought. Do I think that the drought has potentially expanded? I think possibly. I think possibly. I mean, I would not be surprised if it expanded or if it stayed the same. I definitely don't think it got less. But less, the same, that's the same thing. So I'm going to say, make a bold prediction that the drought has actually expanded. I'm going to be with the majority with this one. We'll see what happens here as we go in and get a drum roll and reveal the answer. And oh my gosh, yes, it has 100% expanded. So let's go ahead and give a clap for the majority of the people that got it correct. So, actually, there's now a drought in a lot of new areas. And so now this is the time to where I think we definitely need the rainfall. And so, I mean, new areas like that, or areas that got a drought added to them, like Lancaster County, Chester County, York County, now in Darlington, Chesterfield, Marlboro, Dillon, Marion, Horry County, Georgetown, Williamsburg, Berkeley, Dorchester, Clarendon, also up here to Calhoun, Lexington, Aiken, Orangeburg, Hampton, Colleton, Allendale, and Barnwell. All those areas now have a drought with them. But if you look at western Orangeburg County, most of, if not almost all of Bamberg County, and then also Allendale and southern Barnwell County, they're in a D2. Severe drought now. So this is now getting into a severe level. Not just moderate like some of us, but y'all definitely severely near the rainfall over there. So I definitely do hope that we get a good amount of rainfall in pretty much almost all the areas. Because I mean, just because you're in the yellow and you're not inside of a drought, you're still in an abnormally dry. Everyone that's inside of the white, you're good right now. You don't really need rainfall right now. But areas like Anderson, Spartanburg, Greenville, Lawrence, going down to Kershaw, to Sumter, to Aiken, to Edgefield, to Cherokee, Oconee, Pickens, Anderson, Abbeville, Greenwood, all these areas are in the yellow, abnormally dry. So congratulations to everyone who got it correct. Let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, Mr. Chris says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Please remember to go and hit the like button and the subscribe button. Also share with everyone that you know. He's absolutely correct. We've had 23 people tune in and only 8 likes. I don't know what's going on there so far. Now 9. Don't know what's going on there so far. Why we don't have... I mean, we should have at least a good 15 to 20 likes at this point if 23 people have tuned in. So go on and hit the like button if you have not already. It's free. You can change your mind anytime. Mr. Anthony says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Mr. Chris comes back and said, had an on and off rain day today amongst corner. This was one of those cold rains this morning to where you had the wind kind of pushing a little bit. It was cold outside, and then just the water droplets itself was cold as well. And so it was just one of those cold rains today. My Nana comes in and says, hello, Jay. A nice chilly day with a little rain. Thank you so much for that weather report over there. And then also, hello to you. Let me see how much rainfall I actually got today, since we are talking about some rainfall. Only around 2/10, so not a lot. Not a lot, but a good amount. My Aunt Lula comes in and says, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. Today was cloudy, but a nice, cool fall day. Thank you so much for that weather report up there. And good evening to you. Trail says, greetings, everyone. Greetings to you. Beautiful day here. Glad to hear that. Thad says, good evening, Joseph. I trust all as well. Beautiful day today in San Antonio. That's fantastic to hear as well. Good evening to you. And then Mr. Chris says, I was wrong this time. Well, we all have those weeks. I was even wrong one time as well. But everyone just has to have their own reasons, and just don't. Obviously, some people probably would just pick whatever I pick. That's why I say go on and pick first, and then let me pick, because sometimes I am wrong. And so if you go on and try and just say, oh well, I'll just go whatever Joseph goes for, I might be wrong too. So that's why you definitely need to have your own opinion, and what you think. So now that is out of the way, let's go on and talk about the 4 locations outside of South Carolina. You might be asking, what in the world am I talking about? 4 locations. I'm talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about those locations is because we have people from those areas who tune in almost nightly, and so because they tune in and it's not even their location that, not even their weather forecast at all. They still tune in, so we're going to go on and give them their forecast as well. So now, let's go on and talk about what we always do first. San Antonio being the first with low temperatures tonight at 71, high temperatures tomorrow at 93, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 68. There is indeed no precipitation that is expected, no severe weather is expected either. Now for Raleigh, North Carolina, you have low temperatures tonight at 49, high temperatures tomorrow at 71, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 58. No precipitation is expected at this time, as well as no severe weather and no excessive rainfall. Philadelphia being the next location, low temperatures tonight at 43, high temperatures tomorrow at 65, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 51. No precipitation is expected at this time, no severe weather, and excessive rainfall is possible on, seems to be Sunday, where you do have a scattered flash flood risk. Scattered flash flooding is possible on Sunday, and then isolated flash flooding is also possible on Monday. And then for Duncan, Oklahoma, low temperatures tonight at 60, high temperatures tomorrow at 86, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 60 as well. No precipitation is expected at this time. And then in terms of excessive rainfall, nothing for you there, but we've been talking about this for a good little bit. The fire concern on Sunday, as there is a threat for obviously some critical fire conditions, so don't burn anything if you don't have to on Sunday. And so that is all that I have for those 4 areas. What's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise? Deep tropical moisture surging into the southwestern U.S. will lead to widespread showers and thunderstorms capable of producing flash flooding through the next several days. A strong coastal low will develop late Friday and is expected to bring flooding, high surf, dangerous rip currents, gusty winds, and heavy rainfall to much of the U.S. East Coast through early next week. We also will see some wind going on over there inside of the west in like Nevada. Lake wind going on obviously still inside of South Carolina, as well as some freezing that will occur not only in southern Maine, but most of Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, going into Boston, and even Connecticut, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, and even down in West Virginia, Virginia, and Washington, D.C. All going to be receiving some freezing temperatures as you go into tonight. And then also North Dakota just up there being by itself as well. And other than that, I don't see anything else that's really too noteworthy. Maybe a winter storm watch up there inside of Montana and Idaho, but other than that, I don't see anything else. But that is all. So again, if you have not hit the like button or the subscribe button yet, go and do so. We're at 591, trying to get to that main goal of 600 subscribers. 9. That's it. 9 subscribers away from that main goal of 600. Remember, we're going to have a Q&A there as well. Hopefully everyone has a fantastic rest of your Thursday. Make sure that you're back here tomorrow morning, Friday morning, for your Friday morning forecast update. I will not be here tomorrow evening. Friday evening, so make sure that you do remember that. So I'll be back tomorrow morning. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Thursday.